Well, it has been a minute since I was able to say this. Hello, I am Zeos Pantera, the host of In Ear Fetish, and bitches love canons, and I'm a bitch. So these are the RDs, which is not the actual brand name. The brand name's something else, and I've only done one other thing from this company. It was the Aladdins. Yeah, these are the YanYin. I don't know how you get YANYIN out of like that, because it just says Canon, and this is one of those IEMs that I feel like sneaks out of China. Like it's designed to be sold in China and only China, and I could tell because it comes with this card. By the way, $3.79 comes with this card that it describes the switches on them. It's got the two switches with the little controller, and it's all Chinese. And I had to whip out my Google Translate, and you know what it told me? That there are 4 tunings. But literally, it's like they can adjust the bass, and that might affect the other things, but it's mostly bass. So I had to get a fucking magic marker out and write the configuration in case you buy these, and you're probably going to, because honestly, it's been a while since I've heard an IEM that I straight up wish I could just wish this was a collab. I wish I got a collab and it sounded like this, just out of the box. It'd be just done. Sell it to the hills. +1 bass is down and up. 0 bass is up and down. +2 bass, which is the way I'm currently running it and the way I think everyone's going to run it, is up and up. And -1 bass is down and down. Good. Throw this fucking piece of paper out. These are, by the way, the Canon 2, because I didn't understand that there was 1 and 2 until I saw that there is a Canon and then a different design on it, Canon 2. And if you look, it says 2 there. Not after the word Canon in Chinese in the bottom. So I'm just like, what the Now shut the fuck up. Billie Eilish is on. All right. 4BA, single dynamic. No idea how big the dynamic is, because they won't say it anywhere. Not on the box, not on any of the listings. These are all right. Not to toot my own horn, but I love tooting my own horn, especially on video. Check me out on my OnlyFans. I don't actually have an OnlyFans. I tried to get one to make it like funny, haha, with the Chewbacca the cat before Chewbacca the cat passed away. For those of you who don't know, she did pass away in October of 2021. But Blonde JoJo, officially the biggest, widest, biggest sounding IEM. These are next in line. These. Blonde JoJo's $50. These are $380. So there's a bit of a price gap there. Plus, those are single dynamic, and this is a 4BA single. I forget. Hold on. They say the actual material that's used, or do they not? Highly praised 5-driver hybrid. Oh yeah, it has a biodiaphragm material. It's made out of people. It's like Soylent Green. Oops, spoiler alert. These, I have 2 of these, because 2 companies sent it. I'm not sure it was Hi-Fi Go and Linsa, but I have 2 of them. And I sat down at this desk to review it. By the way, Bob Ross mousepad. Officially licensed. One of the guys who works at Apos is making mousepads, and they've officially licensed Bob Ross stuff, and are making Bob Ross mousepads, so you're going to click that as soon as I get the link for it. I was fully prepared, because I didn't like the Aladdins that much. I was fully prepared to just be like, whatever. We'll move along. I'll either sell 2 of them, maybe make $200 a piece, and then I'll put that towards, I don't give a shit lube. But I sit here. That's actually probably a good thing, that every time I sit at this desk, I want to not like something, so I just like, I got enough. I'll throw it in the yard sale. I gotta keep this set. I gotta keep at least one of them. The space that this puts you in. And I didn't start with the stock tips. It comes with a couple things. VIP card. Really nice little Barbie ottoman. A terrible packaging. Just absolutely terrible. This is entirely a solid block of foam, by the way. I thought that was interesting enough to point out that this is like 2 pounds of foam. It says belongs to the audiophile. Close that up now. Put this back in here, because we're not going to need this anymore. Here's what it comes with. It comes with 2 silicone tips on it and 6 more silicone tips, so 3 pairs. Assuming that's mediums. Maybe you got 2 sets of mediums. I don't know why it would be that. And that's it. The wire is, let me get to the wire. I'll actually pull them out. You get to choose 3.5, 4.4, or 2.5. When I got these sent to me, I didn't get a decision, so I got the 3.5. I would absolutely try the balance, although they're not that efficient. 4-wire, real nice. Let me take them out of my ears. They are, I don't want to say they're very pretty. They look like an IEM, and they look like they have blue, pretty, sparkly stripes. So they're not really doing much for me sexually. They're your 2 switches on top, both nailed. Because if I'm not having fun and dancing, then I'm not listening to music. So wire, 2-pin up to here. It's a very nice wire. Like sometimes you get a IM that's like $400 and you're like, that's a $30 wire. No, this is a nice wire. It's got tool knurling on it. Like it's roughed up, but it's super smooth on this end of this, which makes it feel like it belongs like a craftsman wrench. I don't know why. This is actually super fucking tight. They have just 2 holes screwed in this, and it barely pulls through. Like, look at the smoothness of that. That's called tolerances, boys and girls. Someone has tolerances. The back of these do say CANON with a serial number. I think that's a serial number. You tell me if you buy a set. 2330. It's what that says. So I guess model number 230 of them, and it's the 30th pair. Don't know. These fucking things. I started out, so I didn't start with the standard silicone tips because I'm going to get to all my tips. I started out with the Duconi tips, the old standard, because I'm like, I'm just going to put these in and I'm going to flip the switches. So I did that for fucking 30 minutes, figuring out what the hell they all do. And then I settled on like, fuck it, bass boost to the 9s. And then I went from Duconi to render tips. And I did them one at a time. So I had them playing and I put one in and then I turned the other one in. And as soon as I put the render tip on the right one and put it in, whatever song was playing, biased to the right 20% with treble. And I'm like, oh my God, detail. A little too much detail. Just a little too much detail. But that bass and that space remained. So render tips if you're interested in upping the treble. And then I'm like, okay, cool. We got to go through the whole gamut now. It was a big change between this and this. Let's go to the Dunu SS, which are the square ones, the square silicones. Completely murdered the mid-range. Like, murdered it. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I've never heard a silicone tip, specifically the Dunu SS, make a negative effect on an IM. But, I mean, coming off of this, it had slightly brighter treble to that, and I was like, oof. And then I went to these, which are the X-Lastics, the Sednafit X-Lastics, and I thought they were going to be perfect. But I was getting occasional hints of like something's, they were so clear, but they weren't smooth. They kept a little bit too much going in the upper mid-range. And so I put back on the Duconi foams, and I am satisfied. Highly satisfied. Like a little bit too sad. Like I'm kind of upset about how good these are. Bitches love cannons. She might be on a torpedo, but bitches love cannons. I couldn't find a Ceres Victoria wallpaper. I don't have one made yet, so I'm going to have to go and correct that mistake. I've only got 366 wallpapers ready to go, and none of them are Ceres Victoria. Bad man. Let me plug this into... I just could plug it back into something. I was over here on the wall 11. I got this little tube hybrid, which usually you throw tube hybrids at things because you want more airy space. These do not need that. Let's plug them back in. They're nice and big. You got a grasp of them, and because I was yanking them out and switching switches, I've become... Oh. These are the best implementation of a 4BA single dynamic I've ever heard. And I've heard some of them, motherfucker. These just blend, but they do it in a way that's like super big soundstage. Like just, but it's not like just a far away. It's like deep. Like I'm hearing depth. When I put these Duconis on it, it was like depth. And then you get that bass cranked up so that it actually fills in. These sound like $1,000. If these were $1,000, I'd give them my full recommendation. I'd be like, well, these are probably the most big and smooth IEM you can get for $1,000. The only one that might compete, and even that doesn't compete with the soundstage, is my beloved Soft Ears Twilight. Maybe my Nana. Even my Nana collab. Well, my specific collab was designed to sort of like get a little more aggressive, get the detail worked out a little bit better. These are still these are like OG Nana. With these foam tips, these are like OG Nana. That's a statement, all right? I don't make that statement lightly. Nana were my favorite IEM for years. I think I moved to this house loving Nana. That's 3 years. Having Darkness sing the end credit song from Konosuba. Hold on. I'll see if I can blast this loud enough. I'm gonna cry. That's how good the canons are. They're natural, and they're airy, and they're big, and they have the low end when you flip the fucking switches, and throw that card away, because you don't need switches. Just give me the bass. I tried to listen to see if the switches were affecting anything else, and it was just hard to tell, because the bass response was legitimately like, all right, this went down, it went down, it went down. But mid-range and treble, even repeating the same sections of the song, I was like, I don't know if this is doing anything. So yeah, just fucking Deconi foams, link to the description. I want to call them the RD Canon, so you know what the hell you're looking for, but they're apparently the YanYins. You've got no reviews on this. It is something special. I wish I knew how big the dynamic was. They don't say it. Usually when they don't say it, it's because they're embarrassed because it's a little tiny dynamic. Maybe it's a 6 or a 7 millimeter. I don't fucking care. The bass, when you swap it up, is like, it's full. But it's not just like bass. It's big bass. It's out there bass. I just did another IEM previously that was like, you know what? That has really good, defined but distant bass. It's like, no, this is fucking leagues better than other things I've heard. If I could just put my stamp on it and be like, Canon Z, Canons, and then I'd have in some, actually I could have it written in like Chinese, bitches love, and then it'd be Canons. And that would be the most amazing collab I've ever done. Fuck, I love these. Fuck. I say that because I don't have any room in my boxes anymore. I'm running out of room for things I love. And it's not like, here's the thing. If I acknowledge something and I'm like, this is a really good IEM, and it works for these. And then I would just put it in the yard sale and sell it and get my $200 or 55% of the cost of it. And I'd put that towards the house and bills and coffee. Can you tell I'm drinking coffee out of my trash? About coffee. But nope. Because someday in the next 6 months, I'm going to be like, you know what? This other IEM, I wonder if this is as good as the Canon 2. And I'm going to pull out the Canon 2 for 30 minutes and then put it back in the box and then take whatever the next IEM is and go, no, it's not. This is better. As far as modifications from different amplifiers, there's some, but it's when something is so good, like even if this added more treble and this added slightly more soundstage, I don't care. We're at 110% of my expectations anyway. So yeah, the fucking YanYin Canon 2s, which it doesn't even say 2 on this, it just says Canon. One of the best IEMs I've heard this year. Seriously, like this is going up there with the YUM 2s. Let me see, what were the big ones this year? I need to make a video where I go over the big ones from this year, because you know where they'll be. They'll be sitting on top of that fucking box. Because I can't fit them inside. The reds. Obviously my collabs, I love my collabs because they're mine, everyone loves their children. Even if your children aren't the best children, you love your children more than other people's children. But holy fuck. This kid right here, he's special. I'm going to put him back in my head now and go around and... I love how it says new arrival on this card. Like you're going to... It's not after like a month, so you have to cross that out. But I am a VIP, so fuck it. We're doing this. Wallpapers in the Horde. Patreon, subscribe, so support this channel. I'll link to the Bob Ross. The 2 companies who linked me this, who sent me this, because I have 2 of them. And I've never been happier to have 2 of the world's best, literally the world's best IEMs. As far as I'm concerned with the way I like to tune things, the spaciousness and the space and the natural. Those are the two. That's it. That's what you get. And then when you put the bass up, you get sort of like a bass cannon. But I just want shitty IEMs that I could sell in the art sale. Why does everyone have to keep making great things? Fucking great things suck.